Today, let's apply what we've learned about fraction multiplication. Okay, let's look at our equations here. We have 3 times 10 divided by 2. Well, remember, with our order of operations, we're going to do our parentheses first. So what is our 10 divided by 2? So what times 2 equals that 10? 5. So now we're going to bring what we haven't done over. So 3 times the 5, that gives me 15. All right, let's look at this one. 3/2 times 10. Okay, so we have a fraction times a whole. Remember, you do your whole times the numerator. That gives you 30. So 10 times the 3/2 gives you 30/2. Then we're going to look at that fraction as a division problem. So we would read it as 30 divided by 2 equals what? What times 2 gives me 30? 15. Okay, our next one, we have 14/7 times 10. Okay, we're going to do our parentheses first. All right, 14 divided by 7. 14 divided by 7. So what times 7 is 14? Well, that would be 2. Bring over what we haven't done. So 2 times my 10 equals 20. All right, let's look at this next one. 14 times 10/7. Okay, so we have a whole times a fraction. So remember, we multiply my whole times the numerator. 14 times 10. Take that 0 off at the end. So 14 times 1 is 14. Put the 0 back on the end. That's 140. So 14 times the full 10/7 would give you 140/7. So let's read that as a division problem. 140 divided by 7. What times 7 is 140? That would be 20. Let's look at this slide. Fill in the blanks to make each equation true. All right, 1/3 times 18. Okay, so we have a fraction times a whole number. So we take our whole times our numerator. 1 times 18 is 18. So 18 times the 1/3 is 18/3. So now we're going to read that as a division problem. 18 divided by 3. So what times the 3 gives me the 18? 6. All right, let's look at number 2. 7/9 times what would give me 21/9? Okay, so we need a whole number here. What times the 7 would give us that 21 as the numerator? What times 7 gives me 21? 3. So the way we work that is the whole 3 times the numerator 7 gives us 21. So 3 times the entire 7/9 gives us 21/9. Okay, let's look at number 3. 1/15 times what gives us the 2? So 1/15 times, it would need to be 30 to equal 2. So let me show you how we did that. We have a fraction times a whole number. So we would take our whole 30 times our numerator 1. That would give me 30. So 30 times the 1/15 would give me 30/15. So now we'd have to read that as a division problem. 30 divided by 15 equals what? So what times 15 would give me that 30? That's where your 2 comes from. Okay, let's look at number 4. Okay, on number 4, we have a mixed number. So we're going to take that mixed number and we're going to change it into an improper fraction. So remember, you take the whole times your denominator. 6 times 3 is 18, and you add the numerator to it. So 18 plus 2 gives me 20 thirds, and we bring over what we have not done, which is our 9. So now we have a whole times a fraction. So whole number times our numerator. So 9 times 20. So we're going to take off that 0 first and just do the 9 times the 2. 9 times the 2 is 18. Put the 0 back at the end, so that's 180. So 9 times the entire 20 thirds gives us 180 thirds. So we're going to read that as a division problem. 180 divided by 3. So what times 3 gives us 180? Well, let's take off that 0 and let's just think about the 18 first. What times 3 gives us the 18? That would be 6. And now we need to put the 0 back at the end. That gives us 60. So today we multiplied whole numbers by fractions greater than 1 in different forms. We multiplied whole numbers by fractions that were written as a sum of a whole number and a fraction. And we multiplied whole numbers by fractions greater than 1.